Hi guys, it's Amanda. How are you? And welcome back to my channel. I'm not going to do the intro anymore where I say welcome back to a video no one asked for, because honestly that intro was rooted in a deep self-hatred and for years thinking that no one actually cared what I had to say. So if I prefaced it with no one actually cares what I have to say, then it doesn't matter because they can't tell me that they don't care what I have to say, which is not really a healthy coping mechanism, and it was just a really defensive way of thinking and a way of devaluing my self-worth before anyone else could. So I'm not going to do that anymore. We're all here for self-improvement here, ladies and ladies and whoever else is watching. Anyway, so in the same vein of self-love, self-improvement, I am going to be exploring the art of being alone. Obviously, we are still in a pandemic, so being alone these days is a lot more socially acceptable than it would have been under normal circumstances, but I don't think it makes it any easier. But I do believe that being alone with yourself and being able to be content with being alone with yourself is a really positive form of self-care, so I'm going to take you guys along as I attempt to do that today. Before I get started with that though, I would like to thank Care of for sponsoring this video. So Care of is a wellness brand that makes it easy to get the right vitamins and supplements for your needs. They sent me some vitamins that I've been taking for a few weeks, and I really trust them as a brand because they're super transparent about the research and the sourcing behind every product. Basically how it works is you take a really easy 5-minute quiz answering questions about your diet, your health, your lifestyle, and your wellness goals. Then Care of puts together a personalized vitamin pack for you that can be shipped to your door every month. So here is my pack of vitamins, and mine consists of magnesium, vegetarian collagen, B complex, and rhodiola. I really wanted to try out Care of because I think it's super important that as the seasons change and as the weather gets colder, that you take care of your immune health in a holistic way. Also, the personalized daily packs are made with eco-friendly compostable film, and you can find out how to compost them at takecareof.com/p/eco. So take the quiz using the links below and see what vitamins and supplements Care of recommends for you. Also, you guys can get 50% off your first order with my promo code AMANDAM. Alright, back to the art of being alone. So today I'm just going to go to Central Park and I'm going to explore on my lonesome and look at some lovely fall foliage because I just need that for my spirit. And I'm going to talk to you guys about my experiences with being alone, feeling lonely, and friendship and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah. So over the summer I took this philosophy class, and it actually got me thinking about this whole idea of friendships and loneliness and being alone even more. Basically there was a unit about Aristotle's theory on friendships, and this was something that really stuck with me and really had me thinking a lot because it felt very applicable to my life. I'm just going to say his theory in layman's terms, but you can read the original one if you want. It's very dense. He defined that there was 3 types of friendships. There were friendships based on pleasure, and friendships based on utility, and friendships based on goodness. So the first 2, those based on pleasure and those based on utility, he defined as accidental friendships, meaning that they are not intentional. So a friendship based on utility is basically a transaction. It's basically each person gets a benefit out of it, and the benefit is not spending time with that other person. It's something more external than that. So an example of this would be people who are coworkers or maybe business partners. They both get a benefit and it's a transaction. The thing about friendships based on utility is that they kind of inherently have an expiration date, because whenever that external transaction or those external benefits expire, the friendship is bound to expire as well. Okay, so my hands are freezing right now. This is like, they turn this color when I get super cold. So I think I'm going to go and search for a cafe to get an overpriced hot beverage and maybe a baked good. Honestly, sitting here has just brought me so much joy that I did not know I needed. And if you can go to a park and just sit there and be surrounded by fall foliage, I highly recommend it because it is good for your soul, I'm convinced. Then the second type of accidental friendship is a friendship based on pleasure. And a friendship based on pleasure, for example, could be like people who are on the same sports team, or maybe even you just happen to go to the same high school or college and you kind of share that pleasure of like school spirit and being together in that way. But after that expires, after you're not on the same team anymore, then the friendship will also expire. If it's not based on the third type of friendship, which is a friendship based on goodness. And that's a type of friendship where you have a mutual appreciation for virtues in the other person. So basically, you just like spending time with that person because you really like that person. Like, there's no other benefit. Like, the person is like the benefit, if you will. Like, you just like them and you want to see them thrive and you want to dispense goodness to them just simply because you like them. You don't expect anything in return. The first two kind of friendships, accidental friendships, there's not anything wrong with them. They're not necessarily bad. They are kind of necessary in life. Like, we all have accidental friendships. Everyone has coworkers. Everyone has friends from college or high school or sports teams, you know. So they're not inherently bad. But Aristotle believed that the third type of friendship, the friendship based on goodness, was just the best one because it was one that was truly about character more than anything and about loving another human for the sake of their essence of who they are. Okay, so I'm sitting here in this park and I'm like, oh my gosh, why have I never come here before? It's so fun to explore. And basically what I got from this information was that you cannot trick yourself that you have these friendships based on goodness when they are really friendships based on utility or pleasure. And also another thing to say is that friendships based on goodness are built. They're not just automatically, oh, this is a friendship based on goodness. You kind of have to like build it up and build your appreciation for someone else. But I was kind of thinking about it and examining the friendships and relationships I had in my life, and I was like, okay, do I really like hanging out with this person because I like this person, or is it because they provide some type of external benefit to me? And if they do, and if that's the reason I like hanging out with them, it's not to say that, oh, I need to stop hanging out with them or that I should never see them again, but I should really think about it and be like, do I really want this to be a friendship based on utility, or is there a way that I can potentially change this to be a friendship based on goodness? And it also got me thinking about friendships in the sense that you can still have friendships based on utility, and a utility of a friendship can be companionship. It can simply be not being alone. Like, you can simply want to hang out with someone, not because you actually like them, but because you'd rather be with them than being alone. And that's a utility in a sense, you know what I mean? I think you have to be okay with having friendships based off of utility and based off of pleasure, but I think it's just important to be aware of it and to not trick yourself into thinking that you have all these friendships based on goodness when they really might not be. An important thing to note about the theory of friendships is that in order for you to have a friendship based on goodness, you yourself have to hold a certain level of goodness. You have to be able to have empathy for other people and care for others, you know? It wasn't just about me just being like, oh, does this person want something from me? But I really had to examine what my intentions were with certain people in my life and examine myself. Like, am I myself even, a good person? Am I capable of holding these friendships of goodness? I do think I am. But one of the things that Aristotle pointed out is that in order for a man to be good, everyone was a man in those times, I suppose. In order for a man to be good, he has to be okay with being alone. Like, you can't say you're a good person and never be able to be alone with yourself, because what does that say about you if you can't even be alone with your own self? And that's something that actually really struck me, because even though I was this person who I was always like, oh, I'm so proud of like being an introvert, like I can just like be alone all the time and I don't care. I wasn't really alone. I was always like on my phone, on my screen, doing something to distract myself from my own thoughts. And so I think that was also something that really got me wanting to like seriously try to spend more time alone, because it would be kind of absurd for me to claim that I'm like a good person and a great friend if I can't even spend a minute alone like with my own self. Like, you truly do have to like enjoy your own company to like fully be able to enjoy other people's company. So yeah, after learning that, it definitely changed my perspective about how I think of myself as someone who likes to spend time alone but not truly alone. Basically, it has led me to the point that I think it's really good to spend time alone, and it's really good to like know yourself and to be able to sit there with your thoughts for more than 5 minutes at a time. I'm still working on it. I usually find that after I spend a lot of time with myself and then I see other people, I usually tend to be more like fully present with that other person and like really just try my best to appreciate the virtues they have and not just being so like egotistical in my head and thinking like, oh, what am I going to say? How are they perceiving me? And more just like giving my full undivided attention to someone else, which is like really relaxing after you spend a lot of time with yourself. And I think it just enables me to be like a better listener and a better friend to other people. But yeah, I think that spending like truly quality time alone with yourself is something that you all should try out and pursue if you are able to. And I'm totally not perfect at it. Like, I'm about to watch a docuseries about a cult when I finish filming this. Like, I'm not just gonna sit and stare at my blank wall. I wish I could say I was going to, but I'm not. But I definitely just want to encourage you guys to be aware of that. But yeah, this is not to say that you should just like cut people out of your life because you might not have a friendship based on goodness or whatever. But I think it's just about being mindful and being intentional. Okay, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really just looking forward to seeing like what you guys have to say in the comments, because you guys bring some wisdom and some knowledge and you're also sweet. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.